Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. On today's episode, we'll be reviewing Smoke Wagon's newest release, Smoke Wagon Uncut the Younger Straight Bourbon Whiskey out of Las Vegas, Nevada. You know the drill. Run VT. Well, let's just get into it then, folks. And as usual, I have my little cheat sheet with me here, where I may have got information of various sources throughout the internet. So let's read a little bit about Smoke Wagon and Uncut the Younger. Established in 2012 by business partners Aaron and Jonathan, the Nevada H&C Distilling Company is located in the heart of the Sin City, Las Vegas. In 2016, they launched their pioneer product, Smoke Wagon Small Batch Bourbon, named after the 1873 Colt single-action army revolver, aka the gun that won the West. Today, the company continues to contract distill bourbon at MGP, which is then aged in MGP's warehouses and imported as needed. By varying the age, warehouse floors, and barrel positions, they blend to achieve the respective profiles for their bourbon whiskies. The Smoke Wagon brand features 4 bourbon products and 1 vodka product, along with a bunch of single barrel and special releases. Aaron, the co-founder, notes on the Nevada Distilling website that I wanted straight bourbon whiskey to have a cask strength sibling the way small batch has uncut unfiltered. It just all made sense. A year and a half later, Uncut the Younger, our second expression in the entry category, is finally here, consisting mainly of 4-year 36% rye bourbon from several floors and warehouse locations. With that being said, let's take a little look at the bottle. So my bottle is 57.22% ABV or 114.44% proof. So this did cost me $64.99. So I'm not sure what the price is nationwide, but kind of sounds like it's a little bit a lot going off what I just read. Let us know down below how much you paid for one bottle if you've already picked one up. The bottle itself kind of looks like a wine bottle or an olive oil bottle. If you take the cork off, you have that kind of like wine bottle ridge on top. Synthetic cork, as most are these days. Nothing special about the bottle itself. And then looking at the label design, they have a nice gold label. They also have the Colt revolver, again, the one the West there. All in all, a nice bottle, no frills. The money is not spent on the bottle, let's just put it that way. Getting into the glass now. Let's have a little look at the color here. Kind of like a light amber where I can see here. Not much retention on the side of the glass. Looks quite thin actually for a barrel-proof product. And yeah, you can see, I don't know if you're picking up the color on the camera, but yeah, it looks like a light amber. Let's get into the nose on this one. Picking up some sweet notes straight away. Sweet sugary notes. Not getting much heat, for a product that's 57% alcohol, there's not a lot of ethanol burn straight up on the nose. Getting a lot of pear, like a lot of juice, a juicy pear or like a juicy green apple. A little bit of pepper, not heat, but picking up a little bit of like cracked black pepper. But yeah, I just can't get away from that pear note. It's really nice. Kind of like, if you know those like containers you used to have in your grandfather's car, like these hard candies. It was like the pear versions of that, which were coated in like powdered sugar. Almost like a single malt nose actually. With the pear and the stone fruits and the light notes. Very inviting right now. Very happy with the nose. Let's dive into the taste and the palate. So first of all, my first impressions of the taste or on the palate is you get this really nice sweetness up front, really nice fruity green fruit sweetness. And then as that moves through, then you kind of get a little bit more oak spice dryness and kind of like the medium part of the palate. Let's go in for another sip. Yeah, like a dry oak spice, maybe a little bit of pine I'm also getting from this one. The pepper also continues through from the nose. Maybe a little bit of grass and cinnamon if I'm pulling hairs. Yeah, definitely picking up that grass, especially on the palate and the nose. It does drink, as I taste a little bit more and more, it does drink a little bit harder than maybe a typical 57%. like you do get that Kentucky hug right here. So yeah, in regards to the palate, it carried through a lot of the notes from the nose really well, like that pear, some of the stone fruits, the sweetness, the oak, a little bit of the grass, and the black pepper kind of came through really nicely. You did get a lot more heat from the palate. I wasn't really getting any of the heat or ethanol notes on the nose, but it definitely drunk a little bit harder than it did on the palate. Let's get into the finish now. So for the finish, we have a pretty long finish here, and all that sweetness, all that pear notes seem to have gone away, and that's just been taken over by like oak spice, a long dry oak spice finish. And the pepper is still there. And do get again a little bit of the pine notes with that as well. I'm also getting some really nice dry mouth coating on the finish, kind of like the oak spices hitting my tongue and kind of numbing my cheeks as well. That was my review on Smoke Wagon Uncut the Younger. And then just some final thoughts on kind of like market placement and branding of the bottle. I feel like it's a good addition to the Smoke Wagon lineup. I feel like branding is on point with the rest of the arsenal of bottles that Smoke Wagon produce. And it does have a lot of like single malt, not so much American single malt, but like maybe like a Welsh single malt notes of those pears and apples. And I think, I think that there's definitely a place for it in this market. And then for our scoring system, we like to do a score out of 100. The scoring is so big because we feel like it's a more accurate way to score in, and it gives us a little bit more room to maneuver. And then after that, we also give it a letter grade based upon value for money. So for this bottle, I think a rating out of 100, I think I'm going to give it a 58. 50 being average, so this is an above average bottle. I feel like if you see it sitting on the shelves, I feel like you should pick it up if you haven't already got it. Again, $64.99 is what I paid for it. I probably wouldn't buy it again. And then value for money, I will probably give it a B. There's not many barrel proof products that are around that price point. And especially from Smoke Wagon, they obviously invest a lot into the product themselves, the branding, the story. So I think not only are you buying a good bottle of whiskey, but you're also supporting distillers, which I think is also important in the whiskey game. Thank you all for watching today's review. And please, if you've tried this bottle, tell us what you think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and give us a like. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Whiskey Cove as we drink through the world's whiskeys one glass at a time. I'm Patrick. Cheers.